Long before the flowers start to bloom, even before all the snow has melted, there's this other, more subtle sign that winter's finally losing its grip. It's not something you see, it's something you hear. And that's what we're going to dive into, the Symphony of Spring in Japan. We're going to explore how the songs of just a few special birds are really the first true announcement that a whole new season of life has begun.
So let me just ask you, have you heard it yet? That first little shift in the air? I mean, really think about it. What are you hearing outside your window right now? Has that dead silence of winter started to break? Has something new crept in? Because that's usually the very first clue we get that the world is waking up. All right, so that brings us to our first section, Spring's Awakening. And look, we're not talking about the full-blown explosion of flowers in April. Not yet. This is about those very first moments of change, that incredible shift from the deep, quiet cold of winter to, well, the first few notes of a world coming back to life. And this is such a stark contrast, right? During those cold, dark months, birds are basically in survival mode. They're conserving every last bit of energy, and that means they're quiet. But then something changes. The days get a little bit longer, the temperature creeps up just a tiny bit, and bam! It's like a biological switch just flips inside them. It's this primal trigger that tells them, okay, survival time is over, it's time to compete, time to find a mate, claim some territory, and it's time to sing. So who are the first performers to hit the stage in this symphony? Let's meet the soloists, these brave little voices that are often the very first to break that winter silence. Okay, so the first voice you're probably going to hear belongs to a bird you see all the time, the sparrow. I mean, they're always around, right? But here's the thing. If you really listen, you'll notice their song totally transforms as the season turns. You know that familiar chun-chun-chun sound? Well, all of a sudden, it gets this new energy. It's got this, this happy, bouncing rhythm to it. And this isn't just random noise. Not at all. This is the male sparrow's breeding call. It's his way of announcing to the whole world, hey, I'm here, and I'm ready to start a family. So yeah, their song might sound pretty simple, but trust me, it is packed with purpose. Next time you see them getting all busy in the park or in your garden, just remember that repetitive little chirp, that is the true opening note of spring. It's such a simple sound, but it signals this massive biological shift. But hey, one sparrow isn't a symphony, right? Pretty soon, other voices start to join in, and that's when we get the spring choir. Now we're going to meet the real virtuosos, the birds whose incredible songs really define the sound of a Japanese spring. First up in the choir is the skylark. And this bird, it's a true aerial performer. Its whole thing is as much a visual show as it is something you hear. Honestly, hearing a skylark is exactly like this quote says. The song literally feels like it's pouring down on you from the heavens. What's happening is the male flies up, way, way up, so high he's barely even a dot in the sky, and he just sings while he's soaring. It is an absolutely breathtaking display, and it's all designed to impress a female who's watching from way down on the ground. And what's really incredible is that he can sing nonstop for several minutes, all while he's just hanging there in midair. It's amazing. And what that means is, even if you can't spot this bird on the ground because it's really well camouflaged, there's no way you can miss its song just raining down from the sky. It is the definitive sound of open fields waking up. All right, next up, let's add a splash of vibrant color and a super cheerful voice to the mix. We're talking about the Japanese white-eye, or Meijiro. You can't miss them. They're famous for that little white ring right around their eye. I mean, this is it. This is the picture of spring in Japan, isn't it? These tiny, bright green birds just zipping between the pink, plum, and cherry blossoms. And their arrival, it is timed perfectly with the flowers because they are here for one reason and one reason only, to get that sweet nectar. And their song is just as bright and cheerful as they look. It's this high, clear chi-chi-chi that just cuts right through the air. Seriously, if you want to find them, just look for the flowering trees. That sight of their green feathers against the pink blossoms, and you hear that song, yeah, that's spring right there.
Okay, and now it's time for the headliner, the main event. This is the voice that, for so many people in Japan, is the one true can't-miss-it announcement that spring has officially arrived. This is the bush warbler, the uguisu.
That sound, ho-hoke-kyo, it is one of the most iconic sounds in all of Japanese nature. It's so clear, so powerful, and just beautifully melodic. It just slices through that crisp morning air and basically shouts to the world, I'm here, spring is here.
But here's the really interesting thing about the bush warbler. It's kind of a paradox. You will almost never, ever see one. This bird is famously shy. It loves to stay hidden deep inside the bushes. But its voice, it's so powerful and so distinct that you feel its presence everywhere. It's this incredible song of territory and courtship, coming from a singer who you can't even see. So as spring moves on from those first few notes and builds into a full-on chorus, the action isn't just about individual songs anymore. The sky itself basically becomes a stage just filled with movement and sound. Welcome to the lively sky. And there are two key players that really dominate this new lively sky. First up, the swallow, or tsubame. When they return from their long journey south, that's a sure sign that the cold is really, truly gone for good. And seeing them build those little mud nests under the eaves of a house, that's even considered good luck. And then you've got the starlings, the mukadori. They form these massive swirling flocks that look like they're moving as one single organism. Their combined chatter is just this chaotic, joyful noise celebrating all the new abundance of the season. But look, spring isn't all just gentle songs and pretty flowers. It's also a time of really intense primal activity. And there is no bird that shows this side of spring better than the shrike, or mozu. Okay, this is pretty wild. The shrike is known for this totally unique behavior called hani. What it does is it catches its prey, we're talking insects, lizards, even little frogs, and it impales them on sharp thorns or twigs. It's literally creating a pantry of food for later. Now, I know that might sound a little gruesome, but it shows you a deeper truth about spring. It's not just an explosion of song, it's an explosion of life. And that means the entire food chain is kicking into high gear. So when you put all of these voices together, from the sparrow's simple little chirp to the skylark's soaring melody, and yeah, even the shrike's fierce cry, you start to realize what you're actually hearing. It's an invitation. It's an invitation from nature. Because when you really stop and listen, you get that you're hearing so much more than just bird calls. Every single song is its own story. It's a story of survival after a tough winter. It's the sound of pure joy. And it's a broadcast of that raw, powerful energy of life just starting all over again. So, I want to leave you with this. The next time you step outside, maybe tomorrow morning, just listen. That's it. Just pay attention to the sounds. Don't try to name everything. Just hear what nature is trying to tell you. And ask yourself, what sound does my spring begin with?